Stop talk. Yeah, we keeping it smooth. Your favorite paralegal got the legal groove. From the stars in the courtroom to your cousin's case, we breaking it all down. No rush, just pace. What's good, my legal eagle squad? Hey, so this is an update on Carmelo Anthony's case. If you are following me on social media, I did come out with a post stating that there was a motion, an unopposed motion that was filed, pretty much trying to get the court to expand the how can I say is expand the resources so that the people, the individuals in the public can attend the post-trial hearings. The Judge Sid, signed an order, I believe, on the 5th of August. You know what? Let me just go. I'm sitting over here trying to do it by muscle memory. Oh, and before I get into that, okay. So they have the trial transcripts. So I am in a group, right? And we have coordinated and put our funds together in order to get the trial transcripts. So they are currently being sent to me. So that will be the exclusive members only, but it's going to be to my jury peeps. Wait, not jury peeps. That's going to be, I forgot, whatever the highest level is. That is what I am going to go live in. So it's not going to be in, oh yeah, so it is jury peeps. So I have public peeps. So kind of like the people in the public, that comes in to a trial and they kind of sit on the outside and watch that. My other level is the jury peeps. So jury peeps is like, okay, so hopefully y'all get the correlation. So my jury peeps, if you are not a member of the jury peeps, then I suggest that you go ahead and upgrade that, because the trial transcripts it's a lot of pages. It is a lot of pages. And like I said, we put our money together in order to get these transcripts. And I feel like it's only fair to provide that to my jury peeps. So once again, if you are not a jury peep member, I'll definitely get that, upgrade. Not saying that you don't have to, but I just feel like I have to, you know, um, kind of distinguish my memberships, and I do provide more to those who are jury versus the public. Okay, hopefully you guys understand. So I just want to give you guys that update. Yes, baby, let me tell you something. If y'all see that the cost of these trial transcripts was $2,580. Okay, so yeah. All right, now going back into what I was saying. So the order, did I? So remember, I went over this. This is the initial one that Judge Roach actually signed. And this is just, the order regulating trial proceedings, media access, security, and courtroom decorum, and all that good stuff. But, as we have now seen, there was an issue. Like, okay, for the jury selection, there was an overflow room, and then they all of a sudden took it away. That was the reason. That's one of the reasons, or one of the arguments that they put in the motion for new trial, was that public access, not in a sense, it was denied because some members were not able to view the remainder of the trials on the remaining days. So that is an argument that they are the violation of the Sixth Amendment right, a right to a public trial. The public has a seat. Now, it'd be different if for the jury selection part, they didn't have an overflow room, but the fact that they had an overflow room and then took it away, that says a lot. Like, okay, so you do have the capacity and the ability to create an overflow room with Zoom access and audio access, but then you just took it away. So that is a problem. So Judge Sid pretty much signed another order, right? And then, the state was at first trying to say, hey, they were opposed to, having the public come in, da 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 da. And then somehow, some way, I guess they gave up and they said, okay, we're going to be unopposed. So that's the order that I'm going to read to you guys. Now, as far as, the courtroom being open, I don't know if all of this is going to be, the snow. After I drop my son off from school, I'm heading straight there. And hopefully I can get there in time. But going into the proposed order, like I said, it was an unopposed motion. That means both sides agree. Nobody opposed when they submitted this filing. This is the order that they are wanting to grant. Now, on my end, I cannot see if the judge has already signed this order approving this, but this is the order that they are presenting to the judge to sign, and this is pretty much what it is. So it's the order providing public access to the evidentiary hearing and the post-trial proceedings, including an overflow room and a live audio and video feed. Okay, this is to ensure that Carmelo Anthony's Sixth Amendment right is not violated. So they want to make sure that he gets a fair hearing. Says on this day, the court considered the defendant's unopposed motion for public access to the evidentiary hearing, including an overflow room and a live audio and video feed, requesting an overflow location and a live audio and video feed for the post-trial proceedings in this cause. The state does not oppose that relief. Having considered the motion, the court finds the motion should be and hereby is granted in orders as follows. And again, this is just a proposed motion. I don't see on my end where this order has been signed. So as of right now, this is what the defense in the state is asking. Well, mainly the defense, they're asking for the judge to grant. Findings. Can I see this? Let me just blow it up a little bit more. Okay, findings. The trial of this cause concluded on June 9, 2026. The jury has been discharged. The amended order regulating trial proceedings, media access, and security and courtroom decorum, entered May 18, 2026, was entered to govern the trial proceedings in this cause. On August 5th, 2026, the trial court signed a supplemental order regulating trial proceedings, media access, security, and courtroom decorum. The defendant has moved that the court provide an overflow location with a contemporaneous audio video feed and a real-time audio video feed of the proceedings for the post-trial proceedings in this cause. The state does not oppose that relief because, mind you, back to this order right here, it does not say anything about the overflow room. Does not say anything about an overflow room. Okay. All right. Then it goes on to say that, let's see, an overflow location with a contemporaneous audio video feed, and real time audio video feed of the proceedings are available in reasonable means of affording the public access to the proceeding governed by this order. And then here's the actual order that they are hoping get granted. So the scope. This order governs the evidentiary hearing set for August 19th and beginning on August 20th, 2026, and any hearing on the defendant's motion for new trial or motion to recuse. Order overflow. Whenever the number of persons wishing to attend a proceeding governed by this order exceeds the courtroom's available seating, the court shall designate an overflow location within the courthouse and shall provide there is a contemporaneous audio video feed of the proceedings for its duration. Live feed. A real-time audio video feed of each proceeding governed by this order shall be made available to the public. If the court finds on the record that a video feed is impracticable as to a particular proceeding, contemporaneous audio access shall be provided at a minimum, and the basis for that finding shall be stated on the record. So going back to the new trial motion, the motion for a new trial, that was the argument. So if you're saying that, it is impossible for us to accommodate any people outside of this courtroom, because the courtroom has reached the capacity, you have to state that on the record. And on the record means the judge has to state that, and the court reporter is typing that in the court reporter transcript. Because I've read the transcripts to you guys and y'all know how it's recorded. So they have a digital and they have a computerized stenograph that they use as a backup, but it's all running simultaneously. So if for some reason it's as far as the live feed goes, if that's something that they cannot do, it seems impractical, then that means that they have to provide reasons, not general reasons, but some, how can I say this? They have to make substantial reasoning as to why they are unable to do a video feed. Let's put it that way. And it has to be done on record. Arrangements. The court administrator and the Collin County Department of Information Technology are directed to make the arrangements necessary to carry out this order upon notice from the court and to advise the court in advance of any proceedings if any provision of this order cannot be carried out. Effect: to the extent any provision of the amended order or of the supplemental order signed on August 5th, 2026 is inconsistent with this order controls as the proceedings it governs. Notice: the district clerk shall post a copy of this order in a public area of the clerk's office and shall make it available on the court public docket for this cause. Okay, so this is the order that they're, I pray it's granted. So everything can be, so they can be transparent. Because I think that's the biggest thing right now. After reading the transcripts and learning like there's deals being done behind closed door, the public want transparency, right? And they owe us that much. They owe us that much. Even who is that? Luigi Mangiano, the individual who unalived the who was the United Health CEO or something. He's asking for his trial to be live streamed. Like they have a right to have a public trial, a fair, open public trial. Okay. So in this day and age, we have access to technology, Zoom, right? Video conference. So, in the event that the capacity in your courtroom is filled, then you can have an overflow room that has live audio video feed. All right. So, once again, I am going to be making my way there on the 19th and the 20th. And then I believe on the 21st, I can't even remember who starts on the 21st. I think it's Jerry Jones or Yellow Beezy, or Yellow Beezy's on the spot. It's a lot going on that week. When I tell you a lot going on, I got kids starting. Well, I got a middle schooler starting next week, and then the next week, the two older children are going off to college. So I'm gonna be moving them in over there. It's just a lot going on. So it's gonna be a busy, busy week that week. But once again, I am going to attend those pretrial hearings. Oh, I said pretrial, the post-trial hearings for the motion to recuse and the motion for a new trial. If you are new here and you are unaware of, what entails for both the recusal motion and the new trial motion, definitely go in my earlier videos. I did break those down as well. But once again, I am waiting for those transcripts to be uploaded. I'm not sure exactly when I am going to go live. I have a lot of stuff going on, but I am going to go live with my jury peeps to read those transcripts. But I am going to need some time to review all of them because I have to read them like a book. And I do want to make notes on it before I present that to you guys. And so what we are doing is once we get them, we are waiting a week. And that's probably how much it's going to take me, a week to go through those, because it's a lot. It's a lot of pages. It's a lot of pages. But once we all, say, hey, okay, I think it's time for us to go on our respective platforms and read them, I will let you guys know. So, again, if you're not a Jury Peep member, make sure that you are. I will put out notification. I'm going to try to schedule some days that I am going to read those transcripts. But let me collect all of them first, go through them, and then I can try to see if I can, set out some time during the week or possibly on the weekend to go live with you, jury peeps, and read those transcripts. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I am, eh, me personally, I am optimistic about this. If you don't know who Judge Sid is, um, he is a very fair judge. At this point, I'm not looking at, any party affiliations. I've actually had, and I don't think I ever told you guys. So a couple of weeks ago, a Texas judicial court judge, and that's the highest uh court on the appeal side. So it's like the district county courts, then the Court of Appeals 1 through 14, and then on the criminal side you have the Texas Criminal Appeals Court. So I had a judge from the Texas Criminal Appeals Court message me because I put it out on Facebook and Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. I did like a short little brief synopsis on who Judge Harrell is. And he said that was an awesome, little article that you did on Judge Sid. He had the opportunity to be in his courtroom a couple of times as a prosecutor. And he said, he's tough, but he is fair. I've done, and me personally, I have read, and I've done it on live with you guys, where we looked at the Uvalde shooting case. We looked at the Michael, I forgot what his last name is, but Judge Harrell, what he did in order for these individuals to have a fair trial, these defendants, he literally took one of those cases and put it in a different county. And then for one, I think there was the Uvalde shooting case, if I'm not mistaken, he moved the court trial to Corpus Christi. So, and he has a history of recusing judges because he feels like the defendant will not have a fair trial. So that makes me very optimistic about how this is going to play out. I really do. But once again, I have explained to you guys so you can understand. Right now, we're in the post trial proceedings. If for some reason the motion for a new trial does not get granted, then we will hop into car two and we will take the appeal vehicle, you know, and ride on uh to that part. Okay, but right now we're in the post trial car. We're in the post trial car, and we're going in the same destination. Okay, but if that post trial car does not work out, we're going to hop in the appeals car and we're going to see if we can get to our destination. But if you have any questions, definitely feel free to put them in the comments below. Definitely like this video. Tell people, if they're not part of our I don't know what's going on with my puppies. If they're not part of the channel, definitely join. But until then, you all be blessed, and I'm out. Bye.